We will now tie a short tube fly, and the pattern is HUMUS coral. The pattern is the popular orange, brown, black colors. Makes good visibility in slightly colored waters that we have here in Scandinavia and also many of the Scottish rivers. The short tube fly means that the fly doesn't have a traditional body. It's a very, very short body that's mainly made by a cone head. Also, the fly doesn't have the hook attached to the body. We have these hook keepers, short plastic tubes, cut in different lengths and made in different colors. And it's very easy to attach them to the fly and then attach the hook. Having them not attached to the fly in the design makes it easy to change them, change the color, and also put the hook further back in the wing if necessary. First step is to take the plastic tubes, size small and large, and make a very short butt from the large tube. In this case it's a red one. Make a small collar at the back with a lighter. You start by building some threads on the small tube, and this is just to make a better fit for the plastic butt end. So we just push it forward over the threads like that. This makes it so much easier to use the hook keepers and change them on the fly. On these short tubes I don't use a tail. I think it's better to use a hackle at the back of the fly. The hackle will make the fly more balanced in the water. The hook is the heavy item on the fly and that's attached to the back. Often that makes the fly go in a bad angle. If I use a hackle, I will prevent that in one way because the hackle floats, and that will make the fly go more level in the water. This hackle is a pheasant hackle or a spey hackle, and we will tie it in from the top. We double all the fibers backwards and then 2 to 4 turns, depending on how thick the fibers are. It's important to get them all doubled, pointing backwards. We secure the hackle, a couple of turns with the thread, cut everything off, secure the thread, and then cut it. Now we have a very vivid hackle at the back of the fly. That's both the tail and in one way the butt as well. Next step is the body, and in this case the short body flies is just a cone head. The cone head gives the fly a very good weight, and also it supports the wing and the hackles coming on later. So just some glue, and then watch your fingers, and the cone head goes on. Get the thread back on again. Now it's time for the body hackle. That should be rather stiff, so we will use a badger colored hackle. And the body hackle we will tie in from the base. The purpose of the body hackle is to make a good base and stiffness for the wing, and also to create some air bubbles in the water. So this hackle we tie in Palmer style, not double, more or less the same way as you tie in a dry fly hackle. 2 to 5 turns and then secure it. To make the hackle stronger, we can use the thread and go through the whole hackle a couple of times. Now there is no way that it can come off when fishing. As the fly doesn't have a traditional body, there is no dubbing to make glitter and air in the body, so instead we use a synthetic hackle, and we tie it in just in front of the body hackle. Try to get everything doubled backwards, and don't overuse this one. 1 to 2 turns is more than enough. Secure it like that, and then the body is all done, and it's time to go on with the wing. The wing starts with 2 to 3 flat and rather wide flash. In this case it's orange or peach. Always start with the ends pointing backwards, and they're not supposed to be too long. About 2 centimeters is good enough. You spread them wide over the tube. Having them short pointing backwards will make them go down on their sides and vibrate when it's in the water. Then we turn them backwards, spread them widely over the tube again, and then cut them into a suitable length. And normally you will like them just as long as the total length of the wing, but it's crucial to make them a bit different in length so they won't be packed together when they are wet. There we go. That's the first step of the wing. This fly has 2 different colors in the wing. It's coral orange or very bright orange. That's the underwing, and I try to use slightly stiffer hair, not polar bear, it's still marble fox, but I try to use stiffer hair for the first section. just to make it a wee bit stronger and support the overwing. Normally when you cut hair, doesn't matter if it's fox or temple dog hair, you often cut it too much. I normally say that when you think it's enough, take half of it away, because you don't want a too heavy wing. You want the wing translucent, so that the sunlight or the light will shine through it and make it come alive. So in this case, half of it should go away. So it's very important to work with the wing, work with the hair, work with the fibers. And then look at it and take some fibers off. Work it until you get it thickness you like it. It's also very important to have it well tapered, so before you put it on, make it more tapered using the fingers. This first section shouldn't be too long, and I normally make the same length of this first section as I have on the fibers on the first hackle, the rear hackle. So in this case it's about that long. Tie it in. Spread it around about half the diameter of the tube, at least half the diameter, even more sometimes. Looks good. Cut the remaining away. Secure it a wee bit more. I like to have contrasts in my flies, and this pattern has a lot of orange and brown in it, so I like some contrast, and we will get that by using a black front hackle. The fibers of the front hackle should be slightly longer than the body hackle, but not as long as the rear spay hackle. We will tie the front hackle in at the tip, and then double all the fibers backwards. Doubling the fibers make the hackle softer and also make the hackle point in the right direction from the beginning. Tie it in 2 to 3 turns. And then secure it. When the front hackle and the top wing has different colors, you can sometimes get the effect that the hackle will shine through the top section of the wing when it becomes wet. So to prevent that, we first tie the fibers down on the sides, and then the remaining fibers we will cut away with the scissors like that. Now we will use some thinner flash, thinner compared to the ones we started with. In this case we have one strand of orange and two strands of copper. Tie them on the middle. Spread them widely over the tube. Make them all go backwards. And once again we taper them so they will be about as long as the top section of the wing, but still they need to be in different lengths so they won't be packed together when they are wet. Now it's time for the over wing, or the last section of the wing in this case. And same as with the first section, when you think you have enough, you have twice as much as you should be using, so about half of the fiber should go away. So start work with the hair. This is also marble fox, fairy brown. And same as we did on the first section, we will taper it. If it's not tapered naturally, we will do it with our fingers. This section of the wing should be the longest, and about 1 to 3 centimeters longer than the first section. Like that. Secure it on the tube and then spread it widely, at least half of the tube's diameter. Looking at the wing from above, you shouldn't be able to see anything of the first section on the sides, so this one needs to be wider than the first one. Secure it. And then cut everything in front of the thread away. Now we'll have a good, well tapered wing, and it's not too heavy. You can see the light shining through it. It will swim nicely in the water. I don't use peacock herls. I think they are too easy to break, and sometimes it's difficult to get a good slim shape with them. So instead I use angel hair in peacock color, and this is very, very shiny and gives a superb effect when they are in the water. It's very important to get this angel hair widely over the wing, so it will sparkle all over the wing. And again, the length just about the same as the wing, or slightly longer. Last item to go on the wing is what I call a cap. And for this I use polar hair, or any synthetic hair you can get hold of. That's very voluminous in its structures. You get a good volume. And the benefit of using synthetic hair and not natural hair for this is that you can use a very different color than the rest of the wing, and it won't be over-colored when the fly is wet and you have it in the box. If I were to use a light color here like yellow or light orange or white, and when the fly is wet and in the box everything will be more or less brown, but this one won't take any color from the hair. So to give the fly more of a contrast and also to widen the base of the wing, I put the cap on, and as always make it wide, go down on the sides, and maybe like a third of the total length of the wing. And then clean it up. Now it's time for the eyes or the cheeks of the fly, and we use these substitute, the jungle cock substitute. And once again, by not using original material, we can use them in very bright fluorescent colors, and they won't change the color even when wet and mixed with others in the box. So tie the cheeks in V style, and then make a tiny head. Secure the threads. Just check that the cone goes on nicely. Put some glue on over the sides. That will secure both the cheeks and the cone head. Put the cone on, press it backwards so there's no gap. And there it is. A HUMUS corral in the short tube version. Cut the tube, leave 2 to 4 millimeters. Take the lighter and gently melt the tube down. And once again, the black tube make a very good contrast towards the orange cone head.